Hey there, gun pals. We are headed to Japantown in San Francisco, California for a fun-filled day of Gunpla shopping and some Squid Game-inspired food. But first, and this is very important, we must go over the Bay Bridge toll pricing structure while we wait in traffic to get into the city. Okay, so on weekdays between 5 and 10 a.m., it's $8. And then now you got to watch this because between 3 and 7 p.m., it's $8. And now, totally different thing. If you're going in on the weekend like us, it's $8. And then if you're going in not one of these times, you could be prepared, it's $8. All right, let's take a quick break from sitting in this traffic because before we actually went into the city, we stopped at anime store near me in Walnut Creek. Hey, I had some things I needed to pick up there, all right? I got some sanding strips. I got some Mr. Surfacer for an upcoming video. And I picked up a Transformer Blokees or Blokees box that I skipped getting last time I was there. And I don't know why I skipped them. I mean, it's a blind box, a Transformer, and a build kit. 3 of my favorite things mixed into one. Some might say this combo is more than meets the eye. So due in part to the recommendation of a viewer named Credit Guy, I skipped getting this fantastic Back to the Future 3 kit and got one of these Transformer blind boxes instead. Oh hey look, it's one of my beloved Chubu kits from Hasegawa. Alright, before we get back into traffic, let's get this thing opened up and become outraged if we don't get Bumblebee. Alright, let's get this thing opened here. Oh, what? Optimus Prime? Alright, well, that's still pretty good. Alright, let's do a quick check on traffic. Yep, we're still in it. We got time to build. Alright, this little Transformers kit was fun to put together, and it was taller than I thought it would be. I also tried some gray panel lining on it, which sort of made it look dirty, but that's probably a skill issue. My only sour point, my only complaint about the model is that no matter which Transformer you get the same instructions. So younger or new builders sort of have to guess to find the right parts. My advice to Blockies or Blokees is to just print instructions for each model kit. Some people like me like to collect those instructions, or don't use Megatron and Bumblebee as your stand-ins. Instead, use just a gray generic Type 1 or Type 2 Transformer. That way people don't think they got the wrong directions. Hey, look at that. We finally made it into the city and apparently found some street side parking. We were all feeling a little bit thirsty after this happened, so we walked about a mile to one of my favorite bubble tea shops with locations in both Los Angeles and San Francisco. That's right, it's Boba Guys. My drink is the banana milk with boba, unless they have the seasonal chocolate banana milk, which is delicious. Boba and record store needs now met, we headed into the Japantown Center Mall. We're headed for Japantown Collectibles, which is on the first floor, featured but not filmed in the very first video on this channel, and that's kind of what we're here to correct. But before we got to what I'm now calling my old stomping grounds, even though I've only been doing this for 4 weeks, we stopped off at the 2-story Kinokuniya Bookstore, a word that I recently learned means bookstore. Oh, on the top floor, I found these adorably cute roll paper figures. Check them out. I loved the robot guys there and the Evangelion stuff, but I was saving my bucks for the first floor. Oh, also check this out. Gunpla. Yeah, I'm not sure if the pla here is right because it wasn't clear if these were made of plastic, paper, or metal. But check it out. How much do you think you would pay for a little slot-together Gunpla kit like this? Now, if you said $19, you were way off. This kit was $54. I really wanted it, but at that price, I took a pass. We headed downstairs to where they keep the manga, and believe it or not, and you should believe it because I actually have proof right here, I found a Gunpla magazine. It's called Gundam Forward, and I loved it, so I picked it up. And I thought we would take a look at it together right here, right now, on this very video. But first, we need a snack. Am I right? Of course I am. Let's go get a snack. We found Gina Bakery right across from the bookstore, and they had some Squid Game inspired cookies, complete with a toothpick so you could try your luck. We got two shapes, the star and the circle, and as you can see, the star did not make it. Honestly, it cracked on the walk back to the car. But the circle, well, the circle moves on to the next game, which I believe is Tug of War. The flavor of these tasted like burnt honey, and the texture was more like a porous lollipop than a cookie. At first, I was like, ew, but then I was like, addicted. I would get again. Like, it's literally all I can think about. And while I'm thinking about it, let's flip open this magazine here and take a look at what we got. I used AI to translate some of the pages that I was interested in reading, but mostly I loved looking at each model, studying its color, its decal placements, and of course getting ideas for custom scribing. Super fun, and I actually already ordered the next issue straight from Japan. Look, it cost me $8 in tolls every time I go into the city as noted, so I might as well just pay the shipping charges. All right, our last stop at the Japantown Center Mall was the toy, game, and model kit store called Japantown Collectibles. I asked one of the people working if it was okay that I film, and with a nod, I squeezed in and headed to the back corner where they keep their Gunpla. I got my Dom Troppin from here a few weeks ago, and in those 4 weeks, for some reason, this channel has grown to over 700 subscribers, and I've gotten to do the thing that I love most, using video to highlight the places and people of California and this hobby. It was good to be back. I felt more knowledgeable this time around, and I actually had some things I was looking for. On my computer, I have this Word doc called Kit Hunter, which is kind of a lame title, but in the HG category, I have a Moon, a Leon, an RX-78-2 Beyond Global, and a Maganak, which I thought looked good for practicing panel masking. The Gunpla selection at Japantown Collectibles is below average when compared to Ying's, Akiba, Kobe, or anime store near me. And nothing on this trip was really jumping out to me. Maybe something jumps out to you. Call it out in the comments if you see something. There was a Bear Guy 3 and a Bear Guy family, but I already have the Bear Guy Ohana set still in the backlog. Still, I was there to get Gunpla. And I like to support local hobby stores, even though I now order my magazines internationally. So I picked something up at a good price point, something that looked fun and would be good for me to try my first go at slide decals on. So let's get this thing built as I share my thoughts about the day and this kit. Even though the inventory at Japantown Collectibles isn't as vast, the owner is just as nice and as helpful. In fact, when we were checking out, he gave us a quick rundown on how to build, because I, of course, looked like I was buying this as a birthday present or as someone who's never built a kit before. And that's okay with me. In fact, I like that. I like that the community and the sellers want your first experience to be a good one. Maybe that's why I sort of knocked the Transformers instructions a bit, because I'm sensitive to someone having a bad first build. I guess I'm trying to look out for younger me, who grew up thinking I was no good at this kind of stuff. I loved putting together this 30-minute war kit. The instructions were really, really good. They even had these like runner legends at every sub-assembly that showed you where the parts that you would be clipping out were on each runner. I'd never seen that before, and I thought it was really neat. Oh, I also tried a new organization system with this using multi-compartment lunch boxes. I'm trying to get ready for the Narrative Apex build, and the system seemed to work pretty good. It even allowed me to wash all of the parts, which I'd never done before, in their own little containers, and then use a lid that I'd drilled a bunch of holes in to drain them all out. And here we are. I'm applying slide decals for the very first time in my life and have no idea what I'm doing. I added water to the front and back. I didn't know which part actually separated. I honestly thought it was the whole like square that I'd cut out. But eventually, after waiting and kind of nudging it along, the decal part eventually slid off and onto the model. And that's when I learned the real skill of slide decals is preparing the surface and planning where you actually want to put them beforehand, not when you're sliding it around. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this video. Until our next adventure, Gun Pals, here's a song about my day with a lot of wishful thinking thrown in for good measure. I'll see you next time. Thanks for
I
watching.
like things that go step by step, yeah. Nothing better than instruction sets. Ha. When I get stuck, unstuck, I get faster than a Sarlacc-bound Boba Fett. Cookies, plastic in the magazine. Come, behold this Gunpla king. Find it, cut it, smooth as ice. Plastic be rolling like Vegas dice. Find it, cut it, show that sprue. Seems so clean, no need for glue. No confusion, no oh what's that? Yeah, I follow the steps unless the steps are whack. I take what's mine and I don't give back. Call me the pirate of plastic, no, call me Captain Jack. Cookies, plastic, a magazine. Come, behold this Gunpla king. Find it, cut it, smooth as ice. Plastic